Welcome back, everyone. The Senior Bowl's over, the Pro Bowl's over, and it's Monday, so that means we are doing our mock. We're going to run down playoff team mock draft, just the playoff teams, who we think could be there and who we think deserves to be there. We're going to get into it today. Welcome to Locked On NFL Draft.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to another episode of the Locked On NFL Draft Show. I'm your host, former NFL and NFL defensive back Eric Crocker, and of course, I'm joined by my guy, Ryan Tracy, and we want to thank you for making us your first listen of the day. We also want to talk to you a little bit about our title sponsor, Get Upside. Just download the free Get Upside app and use the promo code Touchdown to get 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first tank. As always, today is Mock Draft Monday. We wanted to, we try to be doing a little different things. Previous Monday, we did just the top 10. Today, we want to do playoff teams and kind of show a little bit of love to them. We are going to include the two teams in the Super Bowl, so we know that they have not played that game yet, but we're going to include them in this exercise and really kind of make these picks together. Usually, I'll pick for a team. Ryan will pick for a team, but this time, we want to talk it out a little bit together and kind of come to some conclusion as to why we take who we do. So we are going to start with pick number 19. And at pick 19, that's the first team out of the playoffs. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been really big, Ryan, on drafting edge for them. They're losing guys like Graham. They might even lose Barnett. So I've been really pushing the edge. I could see cornerback going here. What are kind of your thoughts about the Philadelphia Eagles picking at 19?
Well, we got to remember they picked at 15 and 16. So we're now at 19. I'm guessing they already addressed both of those positions, to tell you the truth. So I'm circling back now. Do they want safety help or do they want like the interior of their offensive line? Is Kelsey still going to be there and be able to output? Do you need to draft an heir apparent? Do you need to just bolster the interior of that offensive line? I think that's a lot of good questions. And so far, in most mock drafts, you're not going to see interior offensive linemen go off the board yet. So for me, that seems like they can have their pick at 19 and get somebody that can really help them and Jalen Hurts in the future.
So are we potentially thinking about Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa?
Definitely thinking about him. I think it's a discussion now because I do think last week changed a couple of things.
Yeah, so what exactly do you think changed for him?
I mean, he should be, if you were going to run zone, the guy.
Yeah.
But if you want to do something else, did Zion Johnson do enough for you and playing both guard and moving on and taking a lot of snaps at center in the Senior Bowl too? Did that change something for you? Because for me, it did. It put them nearly on the same level in terms of the versatility and not having to always run zone.
And there are a lot of people that are just saying, hey, Tyler Linderbaum, like he's the guy. But we are together. We're coming to this decision collectively. We're going to go with Zion Johnson, the interior offensive lineman out of Boston College. Welcome to Philadelphia. All right, now at pick 20, all right, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock. And Pittsburgh, I feel like they've done a really good job kind of addressing just their defense in general. There are areas where they can improve. You look at the cornerback position, Joe Hayden, he already said his farewell to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the fan base. Also, another guy who's leaving, Ben Roethlisberger, he hung his cleats up for good. At the cornerback position, as well as Joe Hayden, they potentially might lose Ahkello Witherspoon, who actually stepped in and did a terrific job for Pittsburgh Steelers. He graded out extremely well. He's going to be a free agent. So I'm thinking cornerback, but we also know, like the Philadelphia Eagles, a big issue right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers is also not just offensive line, but potentially quarterback as well. So what are kind of your initial thoughts on what should be a priority for them?
I think finding the guy that can run that offense and solidify that's your biggest loss. And it doesn't matter how far Ben's fallen off to this point, losing your quarterback, especially a guy who's been there that long, that is a big difference. So for me, it's about the way that the draft falls. And here at 20, I expect that a couple of quarterbacks have been pushed up. I expect Kenny Pickett is probably one of them. Otherwise, I would think the way that he stands in the pocket, the way that he's able to escape it with decent athleticism for a guy his size, I think that might be a good fit, but I'm guessing he's off the board here. So I'm more apt to go to the corner group if it's me.
So I will say, it sounds like they are really high. All the reports are saying they're really high on Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm. Don't think he'll be there either.
Do you think that Malik Willis is potentially a good fit for some of the things that they want to do? I mean, it's hard to know exactly what they want. They've been with Ben Roethlisberger for so many years. I mean, my entire adulthood has been Ben Roethlisberger at the quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think a shade of like Tommy Maddox when I was in high school. But now it seems like, are they going to kind of change their style of quarterback? And if they do, maybe a guy like Malik Willis kind of fits. We did see them have a backup, if I'm not mistaken. I could be tripping. Michael Vick, was he a backup for Pittsburgh at one time?
Not in Pittsburgh, but yeah. He was behind somebody in Philadelphia, but they've had to go to the backup a couple times in Pittsburgh. My big thing with Willis is I think he's still an up and down player. He's got some excruciatingly awesome plays, and he's got some things that you want back. And my question is, can he survive in the cold weather in Pittsburgh? So I think it's certainly on the table, but who knows?
So Michael Vick was a backup. I knew I wasn't tripping. He was a backup for Ben Roethlisberger in 2015. And I think we're going to stay in that kind of mold. Malik Willis, he had a solid Senior Bowl week, and he made some throws, missed some stuff. But I think, getting him under, head coach Mike Tomlin and the guys there to help him develop with the weapons that they have there, I think that he could essentially be the heir apparent to Ben Roethlisberger, especially at a time where the quarterback position, not just for them, but around the league. I mean, it's either a guy like Malik Willis or Jimmy Garoppolo. And right now, Steelers fan base definitely pushing back on Jimmy Garoppolo. So we're going to draft Malik Willis right now to the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 20. Wanted to go corner. That was one I was definitely thinking, but we're going to go quarterback. So here we go. We got pick 21. All right, you have
would like to forget his year in Pittsburgh just like I did.
All right. At pick 21, you got and Malik Willis out of Liberty. All right, I don't think I said his college. So Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. His pick 20 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, pick 21, you got the New England Patriots. All right, and from everything everybody's saying, man, it's like they got to go offense. They got to go receiver. They got to help out the young quarterback. The defense is pretty set. And anybody that might leave from that defense, I don't think it's one of their like core pieces. I think they're going to be fine there. Obviously, you can always add depth to position or a potential starter, but I think for them right now, they want to become more dynamic on offense, especially after losing their offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, to the Oakland Raiders. He's now the head coach over there. I think bringing some firepower and a more dynamic receiver would definitely help the New England Patriots.
I completely agree. The question is, are you ready to pull that trigger after N'Keal Harry? You thought he was the dynamic player in the first round the last time you took a wide receiver, right? And you don't do it that often if you're Bill Belichick. So the question becomes, are you ready to do it? And I'm not sure that's true. If it is, dynamicism, I think, comes in a couple of flavors. The big one that they don't have now is the deep ball. There's a guy that has played, I think, up to as much as you can ask. Jameson Williams got hurt late. Does that affect his stock? Is this too high for a team to select him at 21? I'm not so sure. This is right in the range where I think it opens up for Jameson Williams. So I can certainly see it if that's the direction you want to go. I'm okay with that. I just don't know if Bill Belichick is.
Right. And like you said, N'Keal Harry, that was the guy that they took last time. I think it would be a little tough to draft a guy like Jameson Williams coming off of the injury that he's coming off with your, receiver drafting history not being the best right now. So I'm not sure people are going to give them the benefit of the doubt for that pick. So we're going to go a different route. In this scenario right now, wide receiver out of Ohio State. And I know you guys are thinking Garrett Wilson, but I'm not going to go Garrett Wilson. I'm going to go Chris Olave. What do you think about potentially drafting a guy like Chris Olave? He's smooth, terrific hands. He has the big play ability, not as dynamic as Garrett Wilson, but I do think he potentially has better long speed. Do you think that's a good pick for the New England Patriots with having a quarterback like Mac Jones?
You said it perfectly. Smooth is the first word that I think of with him too. And I think that that's what they're going to need, because I think with the departure of Josh McDaniels as well, you're talking about rebuilding an offense. So that gives you a dynamic piece that can do a number of things. You can line up in the slot, where I probably like him the best for Mac Jones in particular, because you can get him the ball in a number of different ways. I love that pick. So Chris Olave, welcome to the New England Patriots.
All right, Chris Olave out of Ohio State. And for the last pick of this segment, we have the Oakland Raiders. All right, Oakland Raiders on the clock. I mean, this is another team. They've used a lot of draft capital on receiver. They've brought in guys like Zay Jones, obviously Henry Ruggs, and he has his legal situation. Can't see him returning to the Oakland Raiders anytime soon. Brian Edwards, he's a guy I like, but they just have not utilized him a lot. And then you have Hunter Renfrow, who's probably been their best receiver out of the slot. Who would have thought that? But he's been terrific and damn near unguardable out of the slot position. The Raiders, they potentially can use maybe an edge rusher, maybe Cleveland Farrell. Doesn't seem like he's kind of panned out. Maybe they can go interior offensive line. They kind of resorted to playing former first round pick, number 3 overall pick by the 49ers, Solomon Thomas. They played him in the interior. They've lost guys like Arden Key, Mo Hurst. So I see them going 2 directions here: interior defensive line or potentially receiver. Which direction would you go in?
I like both of them. I think the fit that hits me the most is Marvin Leal from Texas A&M. I like him interior. You can move him around a little bit. You need to help Max Crosby as much as you can, right? So a guy that's shiftable, that can play that 3 tech, that can come outside when he needs to, can run those TE splits with him, get those twists going. I like that matchup, and I like that pairing. So I would do Leal.
All right, so let's go with Leal, DeMarvin Leal out of Texas A&M. Welcome to Las Vegas, playing for the Raiders. All right, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, and Tennessee Titans. You are on the clock. But first, we want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Built Bar. All right, and it's the time of the year that I've pretty much given up on my New Year's resolution. I thought I had all these big plans and I was going to get in great shape. Maybe it's too much traveling, but I haven't yet. But not this year. I don't know. But I am kind of trying to stick to my New Year's resolution of not eating too bad. And thanks to Built Bar, they've made it much easier for me. All right. Have you tried the puffs? I have. And I'm telling you right now, Built Bar, some of those puffs that they have and all the flavors, they are terrific. You are missing out if you haven't tried those yet. Puffs are the first protein-infused marshmallow. All right. They are fluffy. They are marshmallowy. They are not just a protein bar. They are a treat, and they are covered with 100% real chocolate. All right, Puffs, they are a fan favorite. Most of the people that I talk to that say, hey, we've gotten some Built Bars through the show, they love the Puffs. And, I mean, they have cinnamon type flavors, cinnamon churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie. I really like the banana cream pie, and many, many more. All Built Bars are covered with 100% real chocolate. Yes, the Puffs are included in that 100% real chocolate, low calorie, high protein, and replace your candy bars with these. They are better. A typical candy bar can be anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. Don't go that route with these. Go to Built Bar, which have 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and best part about it, 17 grams of protein. Compare that to any candy bar, which tastes as good as these, and they're going to have around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. So mint brownie, coconut almond, and so many other flavors. They definitely have the new white chocolate cookies and cream. I'm going to have to try that one. They are all delicious, and it's easy to get. You're going to go to built.com and use the promo code LOCK15 to get 15% off of your order. Again, use promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at built.com. All right, Ryan, you got the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. And, this is a team, this might be the easiest one to pick out of all these. All right, you look at where they have the biggest needs, and I think it's cornerback. I mean, I think ever since they've lost Patrick Peterson, they've been trying to find that guy. And I like some of the play they've gotten from guys. Will Alford. I like the play that they've gotten out of Marco Wilson, rookie out of Florida, or going into his second year. But I think they need to kind of go cornerback in this position. Are you thinking along the same lines as I am?
I am. Edge would be my second choice too, depending on what happens
Okay.
with their free agent class and if they lose Jones. If not, certainly corner. I have one that I like, but who are you thinking?
I was thinking, and I don't know, and I think we mocked him to them before. I don't know if it's maybe because of the school that he went to, or he kind of looks like Byron Murphy, but Trent McDuffie, maybe. Yeah, I think he can fit with kind of some of the things they've done and kind of some zone scheme type stuff. I think he fits in well. Trent McDuffie out of University of Washington. Do you think that's a good fit for them?
Buda Baker, Byron Murphy, Trent McDuffie. It's a line of succession from Jimmy Lake up at UW.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do all kinds of things, not just because what we've seen on the other side where teammates come together like Chase and Burrow, right? You have this thing where you have experience with each other. They all played at different times. I don't know that Buda and Trent overlapped at all. I'd have to go look at their recruiting classes, but there's that step in between the Byron. Like they all come from the same thing. They see things the same way. They've come up the same way. I think it's a perfect fit, and I would run to that podium.
Awesome. Now, next up. So, yeah, we're taking with the what pick are they? Excuse me. 23rd overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals. They're taking Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of University of Washington. And now, next up, we have the Dallas. I bit my tongue. We got the Dallas Cowboys. And for the Cowboys, my mind, there's two positions here. One edge, and got Tank Lawrence. He's done a terrific job. Michael Parsons, I feel like if they really wanted to, they could make him a full-time edge. They also have a need at linebacker. Especially if they're going to start playing Michael Parsons more at edge, but you kind of want him in that middle because to use his sideline speed, chasing guys down. He does a terrific job doing that. They definitely could use a safety as well, or potentially go offensive line. So what are we thinking with the Dallas Cowboys?
I think they're going to retain enough edges. They have 3 starting edges on that roster. And I think Michael Parsons does need to rush the passer consistently. They'll keep enough. I don't think you need to go there with your first pick. I think what you can use help for isn't the back. I would go safety. The guy that I like the most is probably gone at this point. That'd probably be Daxton Hill. But I think, I want your opinion because you watched him a lot. I thought Pitre had probably the best week of any defensive back in Mobile. Does that do him enough to get up here to 24?
I think it can. And obviously you see he was voted like the best safety by his team. I think it was the tight ends and running back group that voted on that. He is a coverage guy. He is a versatile guy. And I hear high praises. And I have kind of a insider who always talks to me about some prospects of schools that he coached at. He talks to me a lot about the South Carolina kids. He talks to me a lot about the Baylor kids. And one guy that he has harped on a ton is Pitre, safety out of Baylor. So let's go with him. Let's go with him and address that for the Cowboys because, they have Malik Hooker, but I'm pretty sure he's going. He probably was a 1-year contract. Casey out of San Diego State. He was a corner that converted to safety. I believe he's out of there. So, this is a big need for the Dallas Cowboys to definitely solidify that safety position. I think he's the guy that could really help. I think even Jaron Kearse, he was playing big safety for the Dallas Cowboys, kind of playing big nickel, playing down a lot. I believe he's on a 1-year contract as well. So I do think if it's not going to be Daxton Hill here, I definitely think Pitre is a guy who can definitely solidify that. So we're going to go Pitre out of Baylor, going to the Dallas Cowboys at pick 24. All right. And for the last pick of this segment, at pick 25, we got the Buffalo Bills. All right. And Buffalo Bills, their defense, they have the number 1 defense in the league. I know you couldn't really tell by how the playoff game ended between them and the Kansas City Chiefs, but I feel like there's 1 or 2 directions they can go here. One, running back. they need that, but I think this still might be a little too rich, at least for my draft philosophy, to go running back. Another area is potentially offensive line. And, I know a guy like Zion Johnson, he would have helped here. I know you were like, he's already gone off the clock. He went to the Philadelphia Eagles we had him go to?
Yes, I believe so.
So we got to go potentially offensive line here. What are you kind of thinking for the Buffalo Bills?
I want a little bit of versatility because I don't know where they're going to be in 2 seasons. So I don't know that you want to just plug in Linderbaum, who's still on our board at this point, as just plug and play center, and that's that. I want somebody that can do a little bit of everything, and if in a pinch I need to move around, I can. To me, there's really only one pick, and that is Kenyon Green, Texas A&M, because he can play 4 positions on that offensive line. I can feel comfortable. I can feel like we can make a headway in both the run game and as a pass protector. So I would plug him in wherever there's a gap and roll with it.
All right, so let's go with him then. You want to go ahead and introduce him to his new team?
Kenyon Green, Texas A&M is selected by, who are we picking for? The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Wingtown.
And I like Kenyon Green. Again, and I talked about it. Watching film on him, I remember watching 3 films, right? And there was one film where I'm like, man, maybe he's not playing here because I thought he was going to be playing on the edge, playing that tackle. But 3 different films I watched, he was at 3 different positions. Left tackle, right tackle, guard, and they also said that he's taken a ton of snaps at the center position. So very well versatile offensive lineman. Welcome to your new squad. All right. But we want to get to the rest of the teams when we come back from this break. Got to talk to you guys a little bit about this incredible app that everyone who buys gas needs to know about. It's called Get Upside. Now, so, you heard about this. It's our title sponsor. Our listeners are making cash back for every gallon of gas every time that they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play Store right now and use the promo code Touchdown for 25 cents per gallon or more on your first fill up. All right, get that cash back, guys. Get that cash back. Don't pay full price at a pump anymore. Don't do it. Doesn't make sense. What you're gonna do? Get Upside. All right, just download the app for free. Again, promo code Touchdown for 25 cents per gallon or more on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot, they're making $200 to $300 a year cash back. And best part about it, there's no catch. Absolutely no catch. The cash gets added right to your account, and you can do it anytime. Whether you want to do it to your bank account, your PayPal, your e-gift card, your Amazon, and other brands, just download the free Get Upside app right now. Use promo code Touchdown to get 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first tank. That's promo code Touchdown. All right, here we go. We're picking for the final teams. And first on the board, we got the Tennessee Titans. I feel like Devin Lloyd out of Utah, linebacker. He just feels like a Tennessee Titan guy. You got you got Variable over there. I know they want to continue to kind of build that defense. Receiver was a spot, and I think in your head you hear Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, but those guys were hurt a lot. And for most of the season, I don't even know who the hell the receivers were. So, I mean, you could go linebacker here, you could go receiver here. Which direction would you lean in?
I completely agree. The linebacker is probably the choice here, especially at this kind of sweet spot because you have Lloyd and you have Nakobe Dean. Now, I disagree that I don't think Lloyd is a Vrabel kind of fit. I think he wants more of a spark plug. I think he wants more of a hitter. Whereas Lloyd, I think, is a little bit more pass oriented, a little bit more. He's high-legged, and I'm just not sure if it fits. Now, they have Monty Rice on this roster already, and I know he didn't play a ton, but he's getting there. I think his teammate, Nakobe Dean, might be more of a Vrabel kind of guy. I can see going that direction, too.
All right, so let's go with Nakobe Dean out of Georgia.
Done deal.
Welcome to, what do they call it? Nashville, Tennessee, the music. What is it, the Music City? Or
Music City, USA.
All right, there we go. Okay, I was right. I don't know. I don't even know where I got that from. So, welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. And next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have no quarterback. I think the only quarterback on their roster right now is the former Gator quarterback, who they have not mentioned, so much to the point where I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Quarterback.
Wilson, right?
No, quarterback for the Florida Gators last year. Come move a little bit. Trask. Yeah, Kyle Trask. There we go, Kyle Trask. All right, so Kyle Trask, that's the only quarterback that they really have on the roster. I think Blaine Gabbert is a free agent. Obviously, Tom Brady retired. So it's as simple as them going quarterback here. That's tough as well, because with this not being a deep quarterback draft, maybe they don't want to lean that direction. But let's say they do. All right, we'll take a quarterback for him here. Kenny Pickett is off the board. Matt Corral, we'll say he's off the board. Malik Willis, we drafted him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So those 3 guys gone. What direction do they go here? Maybe a guy like potentially Desmond Ridder. I'm trying to think of Bruce Arians, what he likes, throwing the ball down the field. I think that Desmond Ridder can kind of be that guy to kind of air it out a little bit. But do you think that's a fit, or do you think that they want to go in a different direction?
You read my mind. Yes, his delivery's a little bit longer. And yes, he has a couple of accuracy things, but he can put that nice, pretty ball out there and let his huge Mike Evans go get it. I like that option. Mike Evans in particular gives him that wingspan that really widens his target zone. And I think he's a guy that can morph into a BA deep ball kind of quarterback because of how smooth his motion is. I'd like that fit quite a bit. I would do it.
All right, so got Desmond Ridder going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got their new quarterback of the future, and I think he's in good hands there. It looks like Byron Leftwich is going to continue to be the offensive coordinator there. He could kind of take him under his wing. I think that's a good area. All right, now at pick 28, you got the Green Bay Packers. We don't know what's going to happen there at the quarterback position, but they're still going to have Jordan Love, so I'm pretty sure they'll play him. If Aaron Rodgers does indeed leave, they have Devonte Adams. He's talking about wanting $30 million a year. He's going to be a free agent. They potentially want to bring him back. I mean, outside of that, you got Alan Lazard. Is it as simple as just saying they need to go wide receiver here? The fans have been clamoring for a receiver for a long time now. Do they take receiver here at pick 28?
I think it makes sense. The only question comes to me is what happens with the offensive tackles. If you are to the point where you don't feel that you can protect enough in another season, getting another year older, you might have to look at this. In this scenario, I'm guessing the top 4, 5, 6 tackles are off the board. So that leaves the cupboard pretty bare. So maybe there's a different scenario we'll cover in the next couple of weeks where that's not the case, but I agree with you. The next possible one would either be wide receiver or edge. And I think there's better fits here at wide receiver. So do you have somebody you like as a fit with that offense? And do you think that it's Aaron Rodgers doing the throwing? Because that makes
something
a difference.
in me. Yeah, something in me tells me it's going to be Aaron Rodgers coming back. As weird as that whole situation is. And if it is, and they get Devonte Adams back, they still want to add a dynamic receiver. And I like Lazard. I think he's probably better suited to be a true wide receiver 3, where he's your third receiver option. I think you really love that. I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision that they're going to draft receiver and that the receiver is going to be Jameson Williams out of Alabama. We talked about him potentially slipping a little bit, but I think this is where you feel more comfortable with him being drafted, and a team that doesn't 100% have to lean on him being a guy right away that can let him grow into that role as he continues to recover from the knee injury. You got Devonte Adams, who will stick around because A-Rod's coming back. You got Lazard. Got running backs you can throw to with Aaron Jones. I really like him in this spot. So I'm going to say Jameson Williams out of Alabama, receiver, coming off of an ACL injury, but I think this is the perfect spot for him to continue to kind of, not just rehab, but grow into his own with a terrific quarterback throwing to him, one of the best ever.
I'm absolutely with you. I think we're happy with that, and co-GMs, we make that choice. Welcome to the frozen north.
All right. And now you got Miami Dolphins on the clock. All right, Miami Dolphins. And this is a very intriguing team. Missed the playoffs, but obviously, they're having more than just one, or whose pick is it? Oh, 49ers. They got this pick from the 49ers. All right, 29th overall pick. And you can go several directions with them as well. Obviously, a team that is not going to go quarterback as much as Dolphins fans might want them to. We don't even know who the head coach is going to be. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of pick, what direction he wants to go in as well. But this is a team I'm not sure. I mean, we talked about linebacker with Tennessee. I'm talking about. Do you think Devin Lloyd's a good fit for Miami?
I think he could be. I don't think it's enough need here. They are in desperate need of somebody that can support whatever quarterback ends up there. I don't know if it's going to be Deshaun Watson. They might pursue him, but you got to help Tua. You have a slot receiver that you have to take some of the pressure off. So I think this might be the first team that can make a legitimate investment in the running back position, or you have to get a bigger bodied wide receiver, in my opinion.
All right, so let's go with big body receiver. And do you think that a guy like Treylon Burks will be there this late? I like Treylon Burks going high. I think that was my surprise pick at the top of the last draft. But I mean, with receivers, you can see guys going up and down. Maybe Drake London, and that would be a big wide catch radius type guy. Do you think that's what fits their quarterback Tua, because Tua, when we saw him at his peak, it wasn't the Parker type guys. It wasn't the Williams type receivers. Obviously he's done a legit job with Waddle, but maybe add either more speed or more size. And which way do you think they should go with this? If there's size, I think Drake London's there.
Yeah, if it is purely size, I agree with you. I don't know that that's the way that they'd want to go. And I'll throw out one other name. I don't think Garrett Wilson's off the board at this point. So I think it comes down to him and Burks. And I know you like Burks better. And I like what he brings to that particular team in terms of two guys that can give you versatility with him and Waddle. I think he can do a lot of interesting things on offense to throw some things off with misdirection and get some creativity back in that offense.
All right, so now at pick 30, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm gonna let this is the team that you cover. All right, I think they can utilize the cornerback. I think Roger McCreary is there, but tell me why it should not be Roger McCreary, and tell me who it should be for the team that you cover, the Kansas City Chiefs.
The biggest problem they had down the stretch was covering bigger, stronger wide receivers with length. Okay, and so I think they're going to shy away from that, from the Mike Hughes drop off, to tell you the truth. Now, like we saw down in Mobile, McCreary's smooth. He's tenacious, and he makes up in a lot of ways for his deficiencies in length and size. The speed's going to be a factor, I think, and we've seen a lot of deep misses down the field for the Kansas City Chiefs at the cornerback spot. So I don't think that that's there. For me, I mean, they love a guy like Woolen that we saw, who's long, tall, and should test pretty well, but I don't think he's a first-round selection. So we're not going there either. At the end of the day, I'm not convinced that Jeremiah Johnson is up in the top 10. Could he be down here? Probably not, but they would look that direction if they're. But the other thing that they can do is they can try to bolster what we're not sure about in the secondary. Tyrann Mathieu up for a contract. We don't know if we're going to get that done. Daniel Sorensen should be retiring. There is not much depth at the safety spot. And given that they have some young corners that they want to support, I could see going in a direction that allows somebody else to come down and play some nickel corner, play some robber safety. I like Daxton Hill here. And that's somebody I'll probably be mocking to the Kansas City Chiefs quite a bit.
All right, Daxton Hill out of Michigan, the versatile safety, kind of the not Honey Badger. I don't want to say he's Tyrann Mathieu and what he's been. He's been a terrific safety in the NFL, playmaker. He's so smart. He's so tenacious. But because, if you want someone that kind of fits that type of mold that is versatile, almost like what Juan Thornhill is in theory. I think Juan Thornhill, the injury kind of set him back a little bit, but I like that. Daxton Hill, welcome to Kansas City. I don't know what Kansas City's nickname is, but I know they have really good barbecue. So
it's a city of fountains and you get to eat barbecue. That works just fine.
All right. I like it. And now on to pick 31, which is the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'll make an executive decision. We're going to go Daniel Falele, offensive tackle out of Minnesota. Their quarterback, Joe Burrow, he's been sacked more than any other guy in the NFL. Like more than any other quarterback, he got sacked the most. And I mean, at some points, I watched one game, he got sacked 9 times. Like it's it's almost disrespectful at this point. So I think they have no choice but to address offensive line. Do you think that'll be a solid pick for them? Offensive tackle, Daniel Falele out of Minnesota.
I like him. I don't have a first round grade on him, nowhere near. He's in the 70s for me right now. So I see him more as the top of the third kind of guy, but I like your thinking there. I like going to the offensive line. There's other options there at tackle that we could go, but let's just call it that whatever they have is their best tackle available. I think that makes perfect sense, and that's what they do. So for now, Daniel Falele, welcome to Cincinnati.
All right, and last but not least, the Detroit Lions, who have the pick coming from the LA Rams. I think it's clear they need quarterback, but I don't know if that quarterback is there for them. So let's say they're not going to go quarterback and they're going to go a different direction. Maybe they stick with Jared Goff for another season and potentially wait until the following year to address the quarterback position. Where do you think they go on their roster? I think, and this is another team, and maybe more so than any other team we've had a receiver going to, they need receiver help in a major, major way. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then I don't think anybody else.
Right.
So, well, I mean,
I completely agree with you. We have disagreement, but we left Wilson on the board, right? So Garrett Wilson, Ohio State's still here. Drake London is still here in this scenario. But I like a guy that's a quick mover that we can get the ball out of Goff's hands pretty quickly, let him get some yak. I like Johan Dodson here to the Detroit Lions.
All right, so let's do it. We got Johan Dodson, and I like it. You got St. Brown. He's more of the slot guy. Dodson, he can play outside. He also can play inside. And in today's game, you just need guys that are versatile, can move around, and make explosive plays from anywhere. I think Dodson definitely is that kind of guy. He had terrific big plays. Dodson out of Penn State. He's been terrific. I saw his name on the Senior Bowl list, but I didn't see him. Was he supposed to be at the Senior Bowl?
No, I don't think he made it down there. I think there was an injury involved.
Okay, so that's didn't make it to Senior Bowl, but and obviously, I know I didn't see him on the field, but I wasn't sure why he was there, like listed as supposed to be there, then he wasn't there. But anyways, that's gonna do it for the playoff teams mock draft. We went a little long today, but we hope you appreciate it. Tried to go a little bit more in depth as far as the thought behind some of the picks for these teams and show the playoff teams a little bit more love. We kind of neglected a lot of these teams. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we also want to thank you for making us your first listen of the day. After you listen to this, of course, listen to Locked On 49ers with myself, Brian Peacock. Listen to Kansas City Chiefs, Locked On Chiefs with Ryan Tracy, and we'll see y'all tomorrow when we debut our first top 5 quarterback list rankings. Make sure y'all check that out. But that's going to do it on this episode of Locked On NFL Draft. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.